Hi guys, well welcome back. This is Bobbing Along, episode 40, and today I am very, very honored to be joined by SatoriD of the Infinite Imaginarium, who is one of the original community of Minds.com and is a prolific author, blog maker, art creator, and digital shaman. So welcome, SatoriD.
Hello. You know what's funny about that? Okay, so I was listening to one of the recent ones, and you guys were talking about how you and Chris were going to go on pirate radio, right, with Japhy?
Yes.
And I was the first guest on pirate radio. I think it's still up on their YouTube. But anyways, it was before it was even a show, and I was talking to Japhy in one of the groups on Minds. And he was all, you should do it. You should be on a podcast. And I'm like, a podcast? Why the hell would I be on a podcast? And he's like, dude, you're good. He's like, you know Bill and John. And I'm like, I know John a little bit, but like talking to him in the comments, but I really don't know Bill. Like he thinks I know the developers more than I do. Right. And I'm like, I don't really know them. And he's like, well, they talk to you. And I'm like, really? And I was like, get them on the show. And then we'll start a show and we'll call it Pirate Radio. And I'm like, okay, I'll ask him. And then so I was asking them, and then I go, and he's like, we should do a test. And there was like this new app that was like a voice chat room. It was kind of like, it wasn't Parler, you know, like Twitter had like this Parler thing. Anyways, It was similar, but it was different. And he wanted to try it out. And he totally like got me into it. And I go on there, and I thought that it was just going to be like for practice, and it wasn't going to get like recorded. So I was like, yeah, I'll help you. And then I thought he was just going to practice being a host so that he's ready when he goes and talks to John and Bill.
Yes.
And so anyways, so I'm on the first one, and then it's kind of funny. He's like, okay, I need a bio. And I'm like, a bio? He's like, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, okay, so I think, okay. SatoriD is a digital shaman, and his business is manifesting dreams. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's what I'm going to do. And then so that's what I said. And then we kind of like start talking. And then that was like before that, I had no idea about a podcast. I didn't think of myself as anything. I was just like something I messed around with on Minds.
God.
And so we did it.
Yep.
And I thought, you know, like how like easy it was. Like the only block was like my mental block of like, oh, podcast is something someone else does. Yeah. And I even had like that mental block with writing. Like I've always written. I've always done like poetry. I don't necessarily share it, but I would share it on Facebook back in the day. And they had like these notes, but like no one really read them, or if they did read them, they didn't say anything, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I got on Minds, I figured, I'll share some of my poetry. And then we got into like, there was like writing Fridays or something. And then the more I shared it, the more I had interactions. And that's actually the first time I had an interaction with John. He was reading one of my blogs about like my family or something like that. I started this group.
Today we're going to be interviewing Minds.com co-founders with Daniel De La Rosa.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is SatoriD from Minds.com, and I'd like to thank John and Bill for coming in. This should be a good discussion about Minds and a little bit about our project, Pirate Radio, and maybe even at the end talk about a future panel show of Minds.com, centering around Minds issues and Minds ideas. So thanks for coming in here. We also have Japhy writer. Japhy, are you there?
I'm here, yeah, over in South Korea, 4 a.m. in the morning. I wasn't too sure if I was going to be able to make it or not, but got my cup of coffee. I got my one little caffeine pill and things. I'm ready. I'm ready to hit the road here and then make this thing happen. So thanks, yeah.
Thanks for getting up in the middle of the night.
Oh, I tell you, man. Well, let's. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. So thanks, John and Bill, and so I'm really looking forward to this.